Do you desire to create recurring income and you're really not really sure what exactly is the best model to be producing a program for? If so, I'm Dollie Freeman, and I'm the host of the Blog to Business show. And today I'm going to be sharing with you something that is exciting and something you really need to be considering if you're going to be creating products online, and especially if your number one goal is to create recurring income, which, by the way, you probably should be thinking about this if you're interested in online product creation. So let me start with today's topic and help you to understand what it is that I can help you do. So we're going to be talking about the difference between memberships and programs. Both of these actually create recurring income. That's what's exciting. But there is a lot of difference between the two. And those two differences are the things that you're going to want to know about before you make a decision on whether or not you should actually go a membership route or a program route. And let me help you to understand what you can expect in today's show. In today's show, you're going to discover the 3 things about memberships that aren't worth the work. In fact, these 3 reasons are why I dissolved my membership and moved into a program, and not just a program. I actually created my own structure of a program. So in doing so, you're going to learn about the 3 benefits about programs that streamline your content. That's really important. And then you're also going to learn about the biggest marketing strategy you want to be using in your product creation. This is something that you're going to want to really focus on, because in the end, it all boils down to this one thing that makes the difference between success and scalability. So let's get into today. But before we do, I want to remind you that if you stay towards the end of this program, I'm going to be able to share with you how to get the workbook for a live webinar where I'm going to actually show you how to create recurring income with a program structure. So stay tuned. You definitely want to get those details. In today's show, there's a truth that I want you to walk away with. This particular truth is something that you might want to write down, but more importantly, you want to take it to heart. And that is, when you create a product for the sole purpose of getting your customers a transformation, the more streamlined your content creation becomes and the faster your profit scales. This is so important, and it is so true for so many years. In fact, when I started my online business, I started for the sole reason of making money. When I started out, I had nearly $11,000 of debt from a local business that I had as a homeschooling mom. Going to work to pay off that debt was not an option, and it wasn't an option to have my husband cover the debt either. It was my business, my responsibility. So when I went into becoming a blogger, I did it for the sole purpose of paying off that debt. So from day one, I have been focused on profitability. But here's the important thing. There's a lot of things that can actually cause you to be spinning your wheels and working really hard and really getting your hands into a lot of different aspects. What I have found is that when you're creating products, you can be streamlining your things, but there is a difference between streamlining what you're doing for profitability and then streamlining your content for scalability. That's what the difference is, and I want to talk to you about that today. I really want you to get an understanding foremost before you get into the differences between a membership and a program, but more importantly about how it's going to make a difference in your profitability and, more importantly, the scalability that your product can actually cause. Okay, so the number one difference is memberships are content creator hamster wheels. Now, don't get me wrong. I have a lot of understanding of how memberships work. In fact, I had one. But here is the truth behind it. Memberships can only work if you create new content to get that next payment. So at some point, you're creating new content, whether you're batching that content or you're doing it in different spurts. It doesn't really matter. But the key is that you're on that content creation hamster wheel when you are creating recurring income from a membership. You cannot have that recurring income unless there is something new. We're talking about an online program. Even things like Netflix and other streaming companies understand that you have to have new shows to watch. You need new movies to watch, or eventually your members are going to say, you know what, I've already watched it all. There's nothing new here for me to stick around. And then they're like, you know, it's not worth my income or it's not worth my investment. So I'm going to just save my income. I'm going to keep it in my pocket and not give it away. And then you lose your customers. So there is a truth to the fact that if you have a membership, I don't care what anyone says, you are in a content creation hamster wheel. And what I found is that there was not enough people consuming my content that was making me feel as though it was worth the work. So you really need to like look at your things. It's not about retention, right? It's all about getting those results for your customers. And you're going to see that as we go through this. So program truth, right? That is the difference. Is about membership, but the program difference is a program works because you created content for a transformation during a predetermined length of time. So what that means is that with a membership, your desire is that very next month to keep those people coming month after month after month. With a program, it creates recurring income, but for a predetermined amount of time. And the benefit to that is you can charge more. You could definitely charge more because now you have shortcut the transformation. And so your cost to joining a program versus a membership has definitely scaled. You've really created more value in a program. But not only that, people are going to be wanting it more because it is now a predetermined length of time. If you're creating an online course that is focused around a particular transformation, you've got to get them that transformation. And that was the struggle for me with my membership, is that I felt like I was giving them bite sizes when truly, in order to keep them excited about it, they needed to get more than a bite size in a month's time. They needed to get like a good portion of that elephant, right? They needed to know that it was worth their investment faster. So product should serve a purpose for those it was created to serve, not for those that created it. And as I was a membership owner and I was taking recurring income from my members who kept paying for it, but then I started looking and I was like, you know what? These people are just not consuming the content that I'm creating. And that was a problem for me because as a product creator, my entire premise is to get my customers a transformation. And when I'm not seeing that transformation happen, I had to take a step back and say, why? Why is this not happening to them? And why are they not like consuming my content? And I'm not okay with taking money if people are not using what they are paying for. I don't like to be in that position, and I surely don't want customers in that position. That is not how you build a strong business, because at one point someone's going to say, you know what, I am not using this. And if you have a large portion of your members doing that, you do not have scalability and you don't have dependability in your business model. So it's all about consumption. It's all about making sure that what you are creating serves the purpose of those who you say you're creating it for, and not for the purpose of you with profits. So the difference, number two, is that memberships reward late members instead of introductory members. So what I mean by that is that the longer a membership exists, the more content is readily available for new members. And so, yeah, we give our introductory members a better price, a cheaper price, right? Because they're coming in first. They're taking a chance. They're risking us. There's not a lot of content there for them. So, we can say, this is why you're getting at a cheaper price while I build this. But the fact of the matter remains, we can increase the price over time, but at some point, there's still a cap to what we can charge, right? And with that cap, the people coming in later are going to be able to have all of that content that they had previously built. And if you have a membership a year or 2 years down the road, and you have all this content in there, and someone comes in and they decide, you know what? The crisis is going on right now. I have nothing to watch. How about I sit here and binge all of these months of memberships and pay 1 month and then Guess what? I'm going to cancel next month and I just got 2 years of content for 1 month price. This happens, y'all. And I guarantee you it's probably happening more right now in the crisis that the world is in with this virus and people being home and staying at home, and been watching not just Netflix, but I know they've been watching content they've not really gotten to yet. So here's what you want to think about. And it takes a lot of back end. I'm telling you, the tech part of conserving all of your back content for only those who are paying for it. It takes a lot of effort to protect that back part that no one paid for. And so your entire content is open up for members, regardless of where they're coming in. And it creates an issue. And so the longer a membership exists, if you have a membership for 2 or 3 or 4 years, that's the biggest issue that's going to happen. And it's a real issue. So a program truth is a program has the same amount of content for customers regardless of when they join, because it's focused on providing one result. There is a defined amount of content that is inside a program, and its function is to get those customers a result from that content inside. So it doesn't matter if someone comes in 2 or 3 years or 4 years later, you're still getting that recurring revenue for those new people coming in, but the product in and of itself is giving those customers a result of what they really wanted in the first place, and not having to keep paying for something that they're not using or they're not seeing results from. Right? And so when you're creating a product that actually has that transformation as part of it, that there is a journey that they're taking, that you're saying, I'm going to be able to give you something tangible at the end of this, you cannot prolong that thing. You cannot. You're going to disrupt everything about your members, and you're just going to be taking their money versus giving them that result, right? This is the power of a program structure. When you put everything into one thing, you remove all of that concern about all that bad content that is now exposed and available to members who may have come in 2 or 3 or 4 years later, right? And you want to build a sustainable business that will last 4, 5, 6 years, but doesn't have the ability for people to just come in. And it's a question that a lot of people who go into memberships say, how can I protect my back issues? Well, you know what? Unless you pay a whole lot of money and you really focus hard on that back end tech, you can't. And this is why there people say it doesn't matter, but it does matter. It's your content, and it needs to be structured in the way to show that it's valuable to not only your customers, but to you as a business owner. So this is a big issue between the two. So the best products shortcut the time it takes to get that desired result. The best products are the ones out there that literally say, you can do X in Y time, and they're pointing out exactly how long you can expect those results. In a membership format, you don't have that. Your focus is to keep them, retaining them for long term, year after year after year. And you have to keep that content creation going to keep them there so that they have something new. And you're constantly on that content creation hamster wheel that is only going to create that issue inside your membership years down the road, when you do have 24 months, 36 months of content that someone can binge watch and then cancel their membership. There's nothing protecting you as a content creator inside a membership because of that. They have full access. But here's the thing, people want that full understanding. They want to understand that transformation and how quickly they can get it. So prolonging it over a membership for years is not to the benefit of your customers, and it's not creating the best product. What you want to make sure that you're creating is the best product that gives a shortcut to that result so that they can get that desired result that they truly want and deserve. And so the third difference is that memberships are focused on retentions, not results. And I keep mentioning the retention. To make sure you understand what retention means is that if you had 10 people come in your first month, and in the second month you lost 2 people, that you've had an 80% retention. But in 2 months, maybe you lose a few more and you're down to 6. That's a 60% retention. And you see that every month you have to bring in new people all the time to be able to keep that number up, right? And then in order to keep your income where you want. So recurring income shouldn't be a constant task that you have to market each and every month, or that you open your membership, maybe twice a year, once a year, I've seen. Then you have to bring in tons of people for that recurring revenue to really make a difference in their lives financially. It's a lot of marketing. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of content creation. It really is. So ongoing marketing strategies are needed to keep your members engaged with the monthly content, to keep them willing to pay for that next month installment, for that next month's content. It's a whole lot of work. It really is. I've been there, I've done it, and I had a whole lot of issues in that process of keeping my numbers up so that I can have a dependable income and grow that income over time that is recurring. And so this was a big downfall for me in the membership model. I was just like, you know what? Retention shouldn't be this hard. And now I'm focusing on not just marketing to keep people retained. I am in that constant content creation hamster wheel to not only keep them having something new, but now I have to keep marketing to keep them there and getting new people in to cover that retention issue that happens when people are not consuming your content. So here's the program truth I want you to realize. With the right program structure, your customers will consume your content all the way to their transformation while creating word of mouth referrals that increase your profits because of the results. This is the power behind a program structure. When you have a shortcut product that you're able to then say, in this predetermined time, you're going to get this result, guess what? People are focused on getting that result, and they're going to be focused in consuming your content because now they paid more for it, right? Because now it's more valuable to them, because now they see, you know what, if I focus on this for 6 months or 12 months, I'm going to be able to actually get this result that I've wanted for years and never knew how to get on my own. And so now what happens is when people get results with a product, we all know this, it's a word of mouth referral. You cannot help but tell people. Right? And usually those transformations are not just tangible in your life, they're tangible to other people seeing it, right? And usually they'll say, hey, Susie, what are you doing? What made the difference? Or how did you get that done? Or what was it that you did differently to get those different results? That's word of mouth referral. And it is something that you're going to want to do as a product creator. You want to make sure that whatever you're creating is for the people that you're creating it for, and it serves them so that they actually can get that result to turn around and help you scale your business on the back end. So word of mouth referral is the best marketing strategy since the first product was created, because it was founded on built-in trust from a friend, not a marketer. So when we have a friend that tells us about a product they love and why they love it because of the result that it gave them, we're more inclined to actually go for that product. Why? Because our friend told us. But if we saw the same product from a marketer and we're getting bombarded with ads about that particular thing, we're less trustworthy. There might be some curiosity perk to get us to actually read the script or watch the video and then go on the landing page. But there's a whole lot of marketing that's going to actually have to be in place to convert those people, right? But when you do the work with really good strategic marketing and a program to back that up that's built for results, and a short period of time that's dedicated to a predetermined time for one result from one program, you have created the consumption factor that really truly puts your word of mouth marketing at the back end so that your front end marketing is so much easier moving forward. It's a powerful tool that you really want to be thinking about. Not a lot of online marketers are really concentrating on that word of mouth referral that happens naturally, right? Natural is different than, creating this really nice sales video for success stories. That's fine and dandy, but the fact of the matter remains, we need those real stories. We need to hear from those real people who are not being asked by the creator of the product to speak on their behalf about their results, right? We want that to spread naturally on its own, like all the products that are now household names because other friends have told them about them. I know I've bought clothes and makeup. I've gone places. I've gone to restaurants. I've bought a whole lot of things because friends recommended a particular brand to me or told me to try something that I never would have tried without their referral, right? So it's the best marketing strategy out there. And I really encourage you guys to focus on doing that. So I want to hear your comments. I want to know what your thoughts are, any questions you might have on what I've shared. And I'm going to recap today's show about memberships. So memberships create content hamster wheels, right? And the difference between the membership and the program is that you're not in constant content creation with a program. Instead, you have one product with one core method of content inside it. And everything you do is based on this content, right? And then number two is the reward, membership rewards later members instead of introductory members because of the content that's at their fingertips that you've created for years that they can binge watch in 1 month and get done. And so the fact of the matter with the program is everyone gets the same content regardless of where they come in. And they're going to have the same results regardless of where they come in. And they're going to pay the same price because they can have the same content, even though it's going to be higher price because it's a higher value based on it being shortcutted, right? So that's so much benefits to the program. Memberships also focus on retention and not results. You want to not think about retaining the people that you have, but you want to get their focus on the results inside of it. And there's a lot of strategies that go into retention inside a program. In fact, retention in a program is very easy. With these particular strategies put in place. However, results are not guaranteed. You have to make sure that the people are actually consuming and implementing whatever the content is that you're providing for them to get the results. But when they're getting these tiny little increments of their transformation content on a monthly basis, let's be honest, people, if I was told one tiny part of something every month for 12 months, will I really stick to it? Will I really get that result? No, I won't. I'll get too distracted, really is what the boils. Life is too difficult. We need to really get people's attention while we have it, keep them there, get them the results with consumption. So I'm going to come into comments with you in a moment, but I want to remind you that next week I have my live-inar, and it's Create Recurring Income with a Program. You're going to want to make sure you have the workshop because I'm going to show you how to use my program structure to be able to create recurring income and be able to take whatever it is that you have, even if you already have a digital course, even if you already have a membership. I'm going to show you how to actually leverage the benefits of a program to create yourself the recurring income without that content creation forever, and making sure that you're focusing on those transformations and getting your customers results. So you want to make sure that you get that link. And if you have any questions, I'm here to answer them for you. I would really like to know that. But the most important thing that you want to be focused on, I'm going to put this in the comments, is making sure that you are growing a business that is scalable. And by doing that, you need a few things. You need to make sure that you have the ability to not be in constant content creation mode. You need to make sure that whatever you're creating is giving results for the people that are consuming your content, right? And then the third thing you need is to make sure that that content is actually creating the results for people to get what they need. I don't know why there was an error on there. It looks like it posted twice. So you want to make those word of mouth referrals become your number one objective in any content creation that you create, but especially that of products, right? We love it when people say, hey, I heard about your blog over at so and so, or, a friend told me about your group. Those are all great, but they do not pay your bills at the end. And they definitely don't get you that pivot in your business that will grow a scalable business that you can become dependent on and rely on and grow with. But a program structure done the right way with the right content leading the way will do that for you. And I look forward to sharing with you what that looks like next week during my webinar. But if you have yet to get the workbook, make sure you sign up for that, grab that, and you're going to want to have that printed out and ready for the webinar next week. Same time, Wednesday at 2:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Eastern Daylight Standard Time. And then join me live asking questions as we go through. I look forward to helping you do that. And until then, remember, you have something valuable to offer to the world in your knowledge, your skills, and your experience. So you want to make sure that you're leveraging that on an online product, especially in today when so many people are struggling with the things going on with the virus. You want to make sure that you're doing your part in creating the lifestyle that you desire to have. And what a better way than being part of the online learning that is scaling to be a $325 billion industry by 2025. And I can't help but think that that number might be a little off by the time we get to 2025 based on what's happening in the world today. Many people are going to online, and a lot of brick and mortars are trying to figure out how to turn their things onto online learning because they need to make sure they're making their money. And a lot of businesses haven't been able to do that yet. So I have a feeling that's going to scale. All right. Well, thank you for watching today. I look forward to seeing you next week on the webinar, Create Recurring Income with a Program. So I look forward to that. Until then, bye for now.